First things first, I'm the realest. Drop this and let the whole world feel it. Let them feel it. And
What's up, everybody? This is hashtag Follow the Conversation, episode 14 on theculturemypeople.com. This is the podcast where we just hang out in a Google Hangout together. My intros are planned as always. My name is Michael Nip, and this is my co-host, Drewby.
Look at us hanging out in a hangout. It's the hippest
real.
thing we can do right now.
Yeah, so something new worth mentioning. We've got chat this week. You should be able to see it if you, in the link that I put up there. You can actually get in the chat, and we should be able to see. I mean, there's obviously some lag like normal, but you should be able to see and interact with us live if you want to.
If you want to. It's up to you.
When
we don't
you
want to force
to.
anything that you might be uncomfortable with. You know, if we are just too awesome for you, like if you're just ashamed, like I'm not even worthy to even speak to them in chat, then that's totally fine. You know, we don't want to pressure you into something that you don't want to do.
I'm still in the murder business. I can hold you down like I'm giving lessons in physics.
I think I've started hitting this awkward point that I admitted to my wife today, where I think I actually start to like that song, unironically, and I don't know if I like it. It's not a good place to be.
It's not. Oh, like I don't like that song. Like I legit that song. I don't like that song. Now the Weird Al cover, that's different. That song's awesome, fancy, handy. Dang it, handy. But,
First things first on the list.
But that's the first time I actually had heard that song was on the Weird Al album, and then like the song, because a coworker plays it, and I'm just like, ah! Just,
Here we go.
ah!
That's the real one, or the fake one.
I see.
First things first, I'm a craftsman. Remodeling is my only passion. My passion. And I'm the greatest in the business.
The only redeeming thing. It's the only redeeming thing. The fact that it's Weird Al.
He got 99 problems, but a Switch ain't one, because he's so handy. You already know.
You already know.
You want to know what my snack is today, for today's show? This is cheddar pretzels.
Oh, yeah.
Cheddar pretzels.
I had some last week. They're all
Did you?
gone.
On the show?
No. They were in my apartment, though. They're all gone now. I ate them. They didn't last.
You see the shirt that I'm wearing?
Yeah, it's a... you might want to move to the side. You know, your mic was covering.
My microphone to be right in the middle of the Captain America shield that's on my shirt.
It's just there you go. What is that? I don't even know what that means. Is it the symbolic of something?
Symbolic of America. Yeah, I got a Captain America shirt for my anniversary. Yay! It was our 3-year anniversary yesterday. My wife and I, Amanda and I.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so that was
3
fun.
years married to a not nerd.
Yeah, well, I'm turning into a nerd slowly. I ended up buying her the DC Deck Builder expansion for her birthday, which was 5 days ago or whatever. And people thought I was crazy, but I really do think that she likes that game more than me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why do you think that?
Because she has to play it all the time.
That's a fair point.
She beat me last night by quite a bit. For some reason, I'm having a really hard time picking up this new expansion. Like, hold on, let me find it.
Mhm.
I got the cover here. It's all the, like, you know, B to D tier heroes and stuff, and the strategies are a lot different.
Mhm.
It's completely compatible with the other thing that I have, the regular normal DC Deck Builders set. But if you mix them together, that's when it really becomes unbalanced. I was able to exploit that like crazy, and it was just ridiculous.
Yeah, it seems that that game is super fun. Now, you said that the strategies changed. Like, it's the same card game. Did they change that drastically? They can't have.
There are basically every single strategy and like way to exploit the game to my benefit you can't do because there just aren't cards to do that. But there are some cards that are even crazier. It's not. I thought I was a little bit afraid that when we got the expansion and it was a standalone unit, that it would be less of a real standalone unit and just kind of be substitutions, like have different pictures for the exact same cards. But in actuality, almost none of the cards do the same stuff. I mean, they still have the weaknesses and the kicks and punches and vulnerabilities, and basically, other than that, most of the cards don't do anything similar, or similar maybe, but it changes a lot when you're actually using them in combos and stuff.
So at that point, is it really a card game? You know, can it really be one?
What are you talking about?
I mean, I'm sorry. Is it really an expansion at that point? Can you really call?
Oh, expansion. Well, no, it doesn't advertise itself as an expansion. I call it that, but that's not really what it is. It is standalone. Like, you don't need the original game to play it. It just uses the same rules, and you can use them together. But yeah, no, it's not really an expansion. It is a card game.
Like
but
it's
not an expansion.
I don't know what happened with there. Sometimes my mind just is like. Ah. But all right, so would it be all right? So call it DC Deck Builder 2.0 then. It's like a sequel.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't want to call it better. Like, I don't want to call it 2.0 because I'm not very good at it compared to my wife. So.
Okay, so call it a sequel, and that way, if it's bad, we all expect it anyway.
Yeah. Okay. DC Deck Builder the sequel.
Yes.
We'll call it that.
So.
What'd you been doing this week?
Yeah.
You watched shows? You said you watched TV, right?
A little bit. I'm watching our sister site, giantbomb.com, watching some of that. Watching not a lot of TV. I watched some Doctor Who this last weekend. I finished season 2, which I'm told was kind of where the point that I needed to get to. For anyone who's watched Doctor Who, the first Doctor companion, Rose Tyler, in the first season, I despise her. She's an idiot, and she's it just makes stupid decisions. It's just like the Doctor's like okay with it. Like there's this one episode where they go back in time, and then like he's like, all right, we can go see your dead dad, but you can't talk to him or save him. And then guess what happens? It's like, oh, she saves him, and it's like, what are you doing, Doctor? How are you okay with this? It's just So she finally is out of the show, at least from my understanding. I think she's gonna make an appearance or a cameo in a future episode, based on what I've seen on the internet. But she's gone, so now I'm on season 3. Yes, and I'm enjoying that right now. That show has kind of grown on me. Like, well, I don't watch it a whole lot as far as frequently, but when I do watch it, I watch them like the shows in spurts, and I enjoy it. I think it's fun. I know you don't care for it, but I do. I don't even know if I can make an argument that it was a good show because there's a lot of it that is just not really that good. But the sci-fi element, there's enough of it. There's a lot of it there that is like it does it for me, I guess, if you will.
I think the majority of our listeners/watchers like the thing, so I can't diss on it too much, I guess.
Mm-mm. No. How far? Now, here's actually a general question. You watched the show, and you stopped because you hated it. How far did you actually get? Did you get into season 3? Did you get past season 3?
I was in like the middle of season 3, I think.
Okay, and that's when you just like it never got good for you, and you just kind of give up.
Yeah, well, I mean, there were interesting things in the episodes, but at large, the show was just really dumb. There was lots of good concepts that I think they kind of flubbed up. And it was one of those situations where, I start the show and I'm like, well, that first episode was garbage. And then people are like, well, you just got to keep watching until, the middle of the first season. So I did that. And then they're like, oh, you got to watch till the second season. I did that. I'm like, oh, you got to watch the third season. Eventually, I just decided, you know what? I don't think this show's for me. I don't think this is my kind of thing. People can like that. That's cool, but I'm not going to.
And that's totally fair. I mean, I actually kind of think it's funny that they kept pushing you back. But,
I don't think I've ever given something a more fair try. Like I really did.
You gave that thing your all, and you're just like, I really am trying to like you, and it just wasn't working out. Huh.
And sometimes I'd get an episode that just seemed to kind of work, and I'd be like, okay, I like this. And then the next episode would just be like the worst episode I've seen, and I'd be like, have you seen any of the episodes with the crazy pig people?
I saw one episode that was in season 1 where a ship crashed and it was a pig that some aliens had made intelligent.
I don't know if that's the one I'm thinking of. The one with like the people that fart all the time.
Yes, those people. Yes.
Yeah, I hate that. Oh my goodness.
The part that I hated about that was in the second season. There was an episode where they're basically like giving her like all these dying wishes and stuff like that, and tried to make her life happy. And I'm like, she is a psychotic killer. Like, you will deliver her over to the authorities. You'll do whatever you gotta do, but don't like feel sorry. Like some people in the show, especially in the show, they were like, well, no, this is like all she's known. So I'm like, she still did all these things. Like. She tried to wipe out the entire human race so that they can make a profit or something like that. They were going to sell the Earth, like this nuclear wasted Earth. And it's just like I don't know. There's stuff about that show that drives me, but I still enjoy it, like some of the sci-fi stuff. There was one episode that was really weird, where they kind of landed on this space station, and they go through a fireplace, and they're watching the life of this girl as she grows up. From like 17th or 18th century France, and she's kind of like growing up and getting old, and you have no idea why these portals are here or why they're being teleported back. You just know that they're actually a thing, and there's like these robots, these mechanical robot that actually like run like clockwork, like legitimately, like they have gears in them that look like clocks. It's kind of steampunky, and you're watching it, and it's just like that episode I didn't mind so much. I thought that was kind of interesting, but
I liked that episode. I think that was one of the ones I liked. Only I was a little bit sad that, like, I think one of my biggest problems is even the episodes I do like, they have to resolve it in 1 or 2 episodes, and I don't think it's long enough to tell such a cool story. And I think that kind of feels rushed, and it bothers me. But I think I did like that episode.
Yeah. I got to watch the finale of season 2, which is the epic war between the Daleks, which is like the trash cans that you've seen. If you've watched Community, they're known as Blorgons in that episode, in that show. But they got the Daleks, and then what are they called? Cybermen. And they're basically like people with like their brains are put into these robots, and so they feel no emotion, and they just like. And it's like these giant wars between these two things. It's really funny in that show because, like, in the first season, when the Doctor first meets a Dalek, or when he has already seen them, but he sees them and he just loses his poop and starts like banging on the wall, "Let me out, let me out!" And like, I think I've talked about this on the show before. And it's just, and then later in season 2, the 10th Doctor sees these Cybermen, and he's like, "Oh no, these are the Cybermen. We're all doomed." And I'm like, "Really? That's like the enemy that you're trying to? I can't take this seriously. Like, I'm not really doing anything."
Yeah, the episode with the Cybermen was one of the first times I tried quitting. I think it was the first episode with the Cybermen. It's a 2-parter, and I finished the first part, and I literally had no desire to see the second part. Have you been watching, how much Parks and Rec have you been watching? Because that's what I've been watching like crazy.
I've been watching that. I started in season 2. You recommended that I just boycott season 1, just completely avoid it. And I did, and I've just been watching season 2. The last episode I watched was where Leslie and, I forget his name, the Indian guy, were judging Tom. They were judging a beauty pageant.
Riddle. Keep going.
No, it's not. no, that's not a thing in this show. But no, they were judging this beauty contest, and he was like being super pervy, and just like the only reason he wanted it is just a judge, and they all voted for like the hot girl, like even like the regular other judges, they voted for this hot girl, and Leslie's like, no, she's stupid, she's not going to represent the city. It was funny, and that was also the episode where Anne finds out that Andy is living outside of her house in a ditch.
It's the pit. It's the pit that they're trying to build the park over.
It's funny. It's really.
Yeah. No.
Andy's like one of the. I agree with you. Andy's one of the best parts of that show.
Yes, Chris Pratt is amazing in that show. The reason I brought it up was because later on there's a character that comes into town, and Um, he is with a group that's supposed to fix the budget for the Parks and Rec department. I think he comes to the end of that season, or maybe the middle, and he is like the most happy, like over enthusiastic health nut. I think I talked about him in the last episode. He's the guy that tries to make the like turkey burger or whatever that's better than a real burger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's like so happy and like enthusiastic all the time. But one of his main catchphrases is he says literally, but he says it literally, and he always is like, I literally had the best burger I've ever had in my entire life. Like he says it so happy and like matter of fact, and I've been saying that to Amanda to make her laugh, just because he says it. It's timed very well. Like I think the comedy in that show, especially after you get out of the first season, is really really good, and I can't understand why it makes me laugh so hard, but it does.
It's interesting too because I don't think you didn't care for The Office, but a lot of these
I don't like The Office.
yeah,
Nope.
but the kind of I feel like the way The Office is set up is the same way that the Parks and Rec is set up.
I think The Office is drier humor, whereas I don't think that Parks and Rec is always dry. I think sometimes it's just really. I don't know how to describe humor in good enough terms. Maybe that'll be my assignment. Just figure out types of humor. I don't feel like it's dry humor all of the time. Sometimes it is. Sometimes, like, the thing that makes you laugh is just a character saying something stupid and then another character looking into the camera, because it's kind of filmed like a documentary, and just that look that the character gives to the camera is the punchline to whatever joke was just said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know. I really think that works. I think the show is a very funny show, and I think that the comedy lands a lot more than it misses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like it. I want to keep watching it, keep pushing through. It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah. Also, go ahead, your turn.
Something else that I watched. I tried to watch two matches of WWE wrestling.
All right, first, what was your inspiration for doing this?
Okay. If you're aware, if you've paid attention to the cultureandpeople.com and you listen to On the Topic of Video Games, we've talked about our sister site, many references to giantbomb.com, and two gentlemen on there, Jeff Gerchman and Dan Reichert, are very big wrestling guys. They really enjoy watching it, and the WWE specifically, and they're in the stories, and there's more people on the site who like it, but those are the two that
Alex Navarro, is also really into it.
Yes. And so just listening to them talk about it recently, it's like I was in bed one night, and I just turned it on and I put it on Netflix, and I just watched a match of whatever I could find on Netflix. There's like they're not actual like matches, but the more the main matches that you would probably be familiar with, like with John Cena, because those are all part of their WWE subscription service, or if you pay for the pay-per-views or whatever. But what I found on Netflix is this thing called, I think it's called like Tables and Ladders. It's like TLC. Oh, it's a TLC event or something. I don't. Yeah, Tables, Ladders, and Chairs 2013, and it's like these. I think it's like 12 episodes maybe of just these different matches, and they're crazy. And so I watched one. Now, a little background: I've watched wrestling before, and I have just despised it. But I think the reason I despised it and hated it or didn't like it was because I was going into it with the wrong attitude. I was going into it thinking that they're actually supposed to be serious. I'm supposed to be taking this very seriously, that they are actually wrestling and like trying to legitimately like beat each other up. Not understanding that there is a very prominent acting feature, and they are stories and characters, and the WWE has their hands in all of it. And these matches are predicted and laid out and choreographed and all this stuff. Maybe not choreographed, but it's supposed to be
choreographed. They are choreographed.
They are. Okay.
They are choreographed. Yes.
Yeah, okay. And they're supposed. You're not really supposed to take them super seriously. And I'd watch it and I'd be like, but he didn't even really hit that guy. And so I watched it this time with a better understanding, knowing all of these things, and like this is what I'm getting into, and it was still pretty stupid. Like the match, it was just funny though. Like how it was actually funny. They had this one guy, I don't even remember his name. he just walks down, and he just walks in the match, and he's one of the wrestlers, and the opponents is a 3-man tag team. Only one person can be in the ring at the same one time, so you still have 2-on-2. But then you have 2 people outside the ring, and then he can tag all those 2. And it's supposed to be this one person versus these 3. And apparently this was a rematch because they've had this fight before, and this one dude lost, surprisingly, 3 versus 1. And so I watched this match, and it starts off with him just fighting this dude or whatever, and he's kind of getting better, and then they tag another guy in, and then he just starts getting beat on, and for half the match this dude is just getting wailed on, and then eventually at the end, he starts taking him down one by one, and eventually he wins the whole thing, and it was like,
does he pull out a can of spinach and go, "Doot, doot," and then
no, he does not. He basically, no, he doesn't. He actually, one guy, he was standing on outside of the match next to the the commentators' bench tables, and there's one of the 3 guys runs towards him and just dives towards him, and he gets out of the way at the last minute, and the guy just goes straight into the judge's table and hurts his eye or something like that on one of the tables.
Oh my goodness!
Stupid, dumb stuff like that, and it was kind of fun. It kind of makes me want to watch more WWE, the real stuff, but it's nothing. I'm not into it to the point where I'm I'm going to pay for that subscription and actually get into that stuff. So it was fun. I enjoyed it. And then the second match I watched, and I didn't finish it, was a Divas match, which is apparently just where the women is WWE with women, and that was just, I don't think that was as entertaining.
Okay.
It was 2 girls. I did not finish that stream. At that point, it may have been entertaining, but I was like, oh, I'm done. I don't want to watch WWE, or I decided to watch something else. So yeah, WWE. I gave that one a shot.
Nice. Just because it's in the middle and we'll end up getting away from the subject, I've got some sadder news, possibly, depending on what you like on the show. Drewby and I have come to a consensus, little housekeeping here, that on the what's it called? The monthly issue, weekly, our comics podcast right now is not it is not worth it to us to keep making that show as a weekly show right now. And both of us have decided that we're going to adjust our budgets in a way that comics don't fit in the way they used to. So I plan on finishing out Original Sin, but aside from that, I think I'm going to be done buying comics for a while, at least as a normal thing. I might buy some volumes randomly, but I think that I'm going to kind of take a break from comics and instead use that money to try to save towards an Xbox One. My reasoning was, out of all the things I could be spending, the fun part of my money on, comics are really cool, and I'm going to continue to pay for Marvel Unlimited and read stuff on there. But the majority of my money was going towards comics, and as much as I like comics, video games are more of my passion, and it's a good bet that I will continue to love video games for probably my entire adult life on some level. So I think that that's a better move for me right now, and I gave Drewby the opportunity to continue the show if he wanted to, but he can kind of give his side of the issue here.
Yeah, I thought about it, and I might do something with it in the future. Michael's kind of dropping off the radar as far as comics in the mainstream way, as far as being able to report on kind of issues that are coming out weekly. But right now, I want to put my money towards picking up Destiny, which is coming out later this next month, in less than 2 weeks. And so, with me wanting to put my money towards that, that's something I'd rather do. And then maybe after that, since there's not really a whole lot of games coming out right now that I'm interested in after that, I'll probably maybe I'll get back into purchasing comics. Don't let this fool anyone. We both really, really enjoy comics. I enjoy reading it. I'm kind of sad that I'm gonna not be keeping up with Batman and all these different story arcs that go on right now. You know, Damian Wayne. What's gonna happen to that guy? These story arcs that I'm in, and I want to know, but I want to put my money towards something else right now, and then maybe after that I'll get caught up again, and we'll keep going. But in the meantime, for right now, I'm not saying that the show is going to go, the monthly issue is going to go away indefinitely, but for right now and for the foreseeable future, it's not really a thing that either of us can really do right now, money-wise. So.
I'm going to sidetrack this. I don't want to talk about that too much. It's a little sad, but it's not like the show's been running for a long time. I know that people who follow the site actually like that show quite a bit. It might be some people's favorites, so we're sad about that. But I don't want to focus on it too much. So I was going to close it off. For half a second there, we had, I believe, I'm going to make, it says Cornelius in the chat room. We had a Cornelius in the chat room, and I'm pretty sure that was Cornelius Jones, Master Mouth Dubstepper. But it's gone. But I think he's gone, possibly because he noticed in the chat room that there was a user called Hot Gamer Girl 13. Don't be afraid, that was my wife. I told her to jump in the chat real quick. I think that was her. So don't think that there's some kind of crazy person in our chat. Not that girls are crazy.
I was wondering if that was like Mark or something. He was just being stupid.
No, I'm pretty sure that was my wife, and I'm pretty sure Cornelius was Cornelius Jones, dubstep mouth fame, also known as Lil Swag on the site.
He is a man with many names.
Yeah, so he was. I think they were also watching, but nobody's watching us live. Okay, so on our anniversary yesterday, we went to this place called Kobe Steakhouse, which is a hibachi grill, which I don't think you've ever been to, right?
No, I've never been there. I looked it up on the internet today. It looks like a Japanese steakhouse, kind of?
Yes, it's Japanese steakhouse. So they got this, for you that don't know, there's a giant stove, kind of like if you haven't had like Korean barbecue, like think Who Hot. But like, there's a giant stove, and it's in the middle of the table, and everyone sits around the stove, and then the guy, it's kind of like a show. Like, the guy will do all kinds of cool tricks with the food, and make jokes, and like, if you've ever seen videos on YouTube of the guy throwing the shrimp in the air and you trying to catch it with your mouth, that's a hibachi grill. We always go there for our anniversary, and I think it's fun, but man, that is not a place you can just go casually. Like, $35 a plate, basically.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
Now, I mean, you do get a ridiculous amount of food. Like, you're getting soup, salad. We had 3 types of meat. We had steak, chicken, shrimp. We had fried rice. We had lots of fried veggies. Like, I was completely stuffed. Like, it wasn't like we were not getting fed, but it is a very expensive meal, and then when you add the tip on top of that, that's a lot of money. So, but yeah, it was super fun. Actually, in California, there's one that has like $10 lunch plates, and Amanda and I have done that before when we go back and visit, and that's not bad at all. It's like a normal restaurant.
That sounds awesome. $10 for all you. That sounds like a what's it called? That grill you guys took me to that one time.
Who Hot. It's not like it's not all you can eat though. It is, you pick off a menu. Whereas Who Hot is all you can eat. If you can keep going back up there and film that. That is actually one of my favorites. We went there also last week for Amanda's birthday. No, I think we just went. That was one of our date night dates. So we went to Who Hot, and I got a ridiculous amount of food.
Look at you going to all the fancy places.
I know, and I'm completely... Speaking of money and being broke...
now we know why this is not really a comic book show.
Yes. I actually decided this before I spent all this money. Anyway, so we went to Target, and we were walking around, and I found this thing at Target, and it sounded like the most legitimate cool thing that I've ever seen. Evidently, it's a machine that lets you carbonate your own drinks. It's called the SodaStream, and you can make whatever drink that you want to, and then you can carbonate it. So like you could, in theory, get like carbonated Kool-Aid, like fizzy Kool-Aid,
Man.
or some other soda. It's called the SodaStream, in case you were wondering. Have you heard of these things?
Many times. I've seen it for myself. I've seen it. I've heard of this thing. At this point, it's kind of and I wonder why you really haven't actually gone out and bought the thing.
All right, so here is the special edition podcast. This has been a running joke for a long time. I have behind me, I hid it so Drewby could not see. Hold on. This is a SodaStream. I'm holding it right here on camera. And I will now demonstrate to you. I'm sure you guys talk over this.
All
A
right.
live demonstration of me making not Kool-Aid, but fizzy V8 Splash Berry Blend.
Well, what's up with the Kool-Aid? Where'd the Kool-Aid go?
We have cherry Kool-Aid, and I don't like cherry Kool-Aid.
So you need to get real Kool-Aid.
I need to get like grape Kool-Aid or something that I really like. Anyway, here we go. I'm gonna do this.
All right, so here we go. He's gonna set it up. Okay.
You gotta open it up, and then it screws into this thing here. Now this is going to be cool in the video, maybe. It shoots carbonation into the water. Here we go. Can you hear this?
Yeah.
Okay. You hear that hissing? And here we go. Watch this. Did you hear that? It
Yeah.
releases.
Yes.
Okay. Now I gotta unscrew it. And then I have to take this drink thing, and you just basically fill up. It's like laundry detergent or whatever. You fill up the lid. This stuff is insanely thick and full of sugar. Then you pour it in. Oh crap! I spilled.
Oh no!
Whatever. It's just on my mouse pad. It's not like that has to be clean.
Ew. What else has been?
Unfortunately, the only way to... Oh, I can lick it off. It's just on the... Oh, crap. Anyway, you have to basically kind of shake it, but like I said, I just carbonated it, so let's hope I don't make a mess. That is insanely sweet if you just lick the straight syrup. Holy crap.
Oh no!
Oh my goodness, that's really, really good.
I don't know.
Here it is on my mouse pad.
Oh no, Gordon Freeman! Yeah, he's licking the mouse pad too. He's licking the mouse pad. Oh.
Alright, now I'm going to try to mix this stuff up.
Oh, man.
Now I'm going to have a sticky mouse pad until I clean that up.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just tilting it up and down for the audio version of this podcast, which I sometimes forget about since we switched to video. Last time I did this, I tried this with root beer. By the way, the root beer SodaStream stuff is disgusting. I didn't expect it to be good because root beer is a very hard thing to get right, in my opinion. I'm a root beer connoisseur, but it was disgusting. But, however, when I tried to mix it up, I shook it up too much, and it fizzed out all over the place.
There you go.
See it fizzing up. Take a drink.
What? Okay. How's it? So how's it taste?
I think I put too much fizz in it. Hold on.
There are too much fizz.
No, I'm gonna put more juice in it. This is gonna be one sweet soda.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe it's because I spilled half of it.
Oh.
Okay. I just put a half cap in, so I've got 1.5 caps ish. Remember, always put the lid on. See, I didn't want you to know that I got this. I was hiding it from you. I actually had this bottle with me at work today, and I was specifically holding my backpack in a way that you wouldn't be able to see it because I wanted to do this reveal on the show here.
Nice.
All right, here we go.
All right.
That's very good. I like it.
You-
I gave it to my wife, and she said it tasted like medicine.
So she probably doesn't like it.
She didn't like it, but I do. And that's what matters.
Ah. Ouch. Oh,
Okay.
nice.
Anyway.
So what else? What other drinks do you want to experiment with? What have you tried so far? You mentioned root beer.
I tried root beer, which was disgusting. I tried the cherry Kool-Aid, it just tasted like cherry Kool-Aid. Like, it was good, but I don't love cherry Kool-Aid. So there's that. But then this is the V8 Berry Blast. I went down and bought that last night. I bought my wife for her anniversary a Keurig, which
Yeah.
is one of those coffee maker things.
Hmm. My
It was
mother.
Okay.
They're really good.
Your mother has one, you said?
Yeah, they're really good. The Keurigs. They make like coffees and stuff like that. Teas. They're
Yes.
awesome.
So here's the deal. I'm going to explain my plight. So I am a procrastinator, and I was putting off buying my wife stuff. I know lots of things that my wife likes. I'm not a terrible husband in that way. However, a lot of them are not things that are anniversary gift type deals. So, like, I'm not going to buy her kitchen utensils or something for... I guess I ended up buying a Keurig, but that's a little different.
Yeah, that's different.
For anniversary. So I kind of had the Keurig in mind, but get this, I have asked her probably because she loves coffee. She always wants me to take her to Starbucks. She uses Keurigs at her work. She uses Keurigs at my parents' house. I've always thought she would want one, but I've asked her many times if she's wanted a Keurig in person, and she always says no. I'm like, well, I'll buy you one, and she's like, no. So I had to actually buy her something that she has told me on many occasions not to buy her, simply because my wife doesn't like spending money.
Okay.
So I ended up buying her. She was super happy, and that worked out. But as a
Big butt.
relationship advice,
Yes.
I like big butts. As relationship advice, just whenever your significant other tells you that they don't want something, that's probably what they want the most. That's my advice.
I was already clued into that while she's saying, Amanda's like, don't buy it. I'm like, yeah, she probably wants it.
So if you take your potential future girlfriend to a store and say, hey, would you really like this extended Blu-ray of the Lord of the Rings trilogies? And she says no, that's what she wants. If you take her to a comic book store and say, hey, would you like the X-Men vs. Avengers anthology? And she says no, that's what she wants. That's the kind of relationship advice you can get here at theculturemypeople.com.
All right, so what happens if I take her to, we'll say Bed Bath & Beyond, and there's this awesome blanket that she really wants, and I ask, do you want this? And she says yes. Do I not get that?
Yes, you should not buy that for her. She's simply saying it to make conversation topic.
Okay. All right, so do the exact opposite of what I'm told.
Yes, I've been happily married for 3 years, and this is the kind of advice I can give you.
3. Okay. All right, fair enough. I think that this sounds good to me. I think I can make this happen. This sounds pretty easy.
What is this?
Are you gonna clean up?
Oh, my wife is watching the show live, and she brought me Lysol so I can clean up the stickiness. Look at that. And this is why you get married.
Is that why? Okay, okay.
I hope that she gets to the part where I was just giving relationship advice. That comes in here and says something like that.
I know. Oh, that's really funny. Oh,
Boom.
that's really funny. Hot gamer girl needs to hop back in the chat.
My mouse pad's all wet.
Oh, that's because you just sprayed it down with Lysol. I don't know this
Look
what
at
you
that. That is the kind of thing that happens when you have a relationship following my relationship advice. You get free Lysol.
Okay, we'll go with it. I think we can just let that one slide. Oh man.
First things first on the list.
Are you really?
So I heard you're seeing Guardians of the Galaxy for the 4th time.
Yeah, four times I've seen it since it's been released. I saw it, I think like 2 times, whenever, like within the first week that it came out, and then like I'll also be the 4th time that I have seen it, and I'm still excited. I'm excited for tomorrow that we'll go see that movie again.
I read on IGN today that Robert Downey Jr.'s favorite Marvel movie was Guardians of the Galaxy. You get to see Chris Pratt.
Yeah, the movie's great, dude. The movie's so good. It's funny. It's well done. The characters are great. I'm gonna get to see more Chris Pratt, who's probably my second favorite Guardian. It's awesome. Oh, that movie. Yeah. No, I'm going to. You have failed as an older brother and have not taken your little brother to go see that movie yet. So I have to step in and kind of fill that gap, that void in his life.
I was too busy following my own relationship advice. No, I've been busy. So he was actually. I don't know why he hasn't seen it yet. Like, he has tons of friends. He could have gone. I don't know.
Yeah, it's happening. It's happening to them. If anyone has not seen that movie, I can't recommend that movie enough. I've probably gotten the most enjoyment out of this movie, over Cap 2. Although I am super excited. Captain America 2 comes out like in 2 weeks. Like, not this next. In less than 2 weeks. So that's super awesome. I think September 9th, same day.
Have you decided that you like this more than the Avengers?
They're different movies. It's hard. This movie, yeah, I probably do like it more than the Avengers. The Avengers is still a great movie. Like, that's a hard thing.
Yeah, man.
That's the celebration music for finding a movie that Drewby likes more than the Avengers. Because Drewby talks about the Avengers like it's a little bit better than I would say it is.
Yeah, I love that movie. That movie's so good. I thought it was done super well. Avengers 2, I'm a little bit nervous about, but Joss Whedon is at the helm. I think we can trust him.
Isn't Joss Whedon the Buffy dude?
Yep. Buffy. He did that one space cowboy thing that everyone loves, Firefly. He did another TV show I can't remember the name of, and he directed Avengers 1.
I want to hear you say this on the air. You like Doctor Who, but you don't like Firefly.
When I don't know that I can say that. I don't know that I can legitimately, honestly say that. I would have to go back and watch Firefly and see if I can get into it before I could
did
make.
Not like the first time you saw it, though, did you?
I was not a big fan the first time I saw it.
Yeah, man.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
If we had a bigger community, the nerd community in our chat room would be going nuts. Instead, they're just happy that I'm playing Usher.
That's the coolest. That's the height of cool that we can reach on this show. By the way, why does it excite you that I mean, do you hate Firefly as a TV show? Do you think it's not that good?
No, I like Firefly.
Oh.
I just wanted to have it like recorded somewhere that when we're big, you did not like Firefly when you saw it because that would make a lot of people angry, and everyone knows that controversy is a good way to get traffic.
Yes, I will be the one who loves Doctor Who and hates Firefly. That's.
I was the one that said that what I say earlier this week that Diddy Kong Racing was better than Mario Kart, and I said that on.
That's controversial. Now, some people would agree with you because some people just hate on that game Mario Kart. But Mario Kart's fun. It's a fun game. Now, whether it holds up or not, I haven't played it in years. I doubt
I'm
it
not
holds
even
up.
saying it's not fun. I'm not even saying it doesn't hold up. I'm saying Diddy Kong Racing is a better game.
Um. Okay. I think I could let that comment stand.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
I don't know that I can really argue with that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
People are going in the chat room now and talking about Fancy just to make you angry, Drewby.
I don't like that song, people. Stop it. That song.
Did you know that? Okay, I'm gonna ask you a question because I legitimately don't know if you know the answer. This is gonna sound racist. Did you know that Iggy's white?
Who's Iggy?
Iggy Azalea, whatever, who sings Fancy.
Oh, is that the girl that John Travolta-ified her name at the for singing Frozen?
No, that's Idina Menzel.
Oh. No, I didn't.
Listen, this is a white person.
First things first, I'm the realest. Drop this and let the whole world feel it. Let 'em feel it. And I'm still in the murder business. I can hold you down like I'm giving lessons in physics. Right.
That's
Wow.
yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
so she's a white girl from the hood. Okay.
I don't know. She might. I don't think she's just straight white. Oh my goodness! People are just quoting Fancy lyrics in the chat now.
This song has gone viral on theculturebypeople.com.
It's actually already a big song. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look up like some cover for Fancy. That'll be the album art or whatever.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so she's white, but all right. So, but if you listen to, did you know Kesha is white?
Yeah, everyone knows Kesha's white.
Yes. So there.
Kesha doesn't sound the same though. Kesha sounds pretty white. I would play some, but I legitimately don't like Kesha, so I don't have any Kesha on my computer right now, and I'm not gonna look it up.
Yeah, because you just don't want to even support that. It's like, what evs? No Kesha's here.
You know that Sam Smith was white? Because my wife didn't.
Really?
You don't know what Sam Smith looks like?
No, I didn't. I knew what Sam Smith looked like. I didn't realize that your white wife didn't know Sam Smith was white.
Here's Sam Smith in one of my favorite songs that he has.
Left my heart out when the rest of me is down. You enchant me, even when
Yeah.
Forward, I gotta hear some of that falsetto real quick.
Okay, you do that.
I to knock them down.
Hold on. Almost
Now
there.
I know what I have
Just
found.
ride the music.
I feel it
Aww. Almost there.
Let me skip more. Alright, here we go. Let's try this.
Okay, here we go.
Now I've got you in my space. I won't let go of you.
Oh, yeah!
Ah.
Sam Smith.
Ooh.
That guy's voice gives me the chills. It's like Ursher, baby.
All right. Who gives you bigger chills?
Ursher. Ursher gives me the chills.
Mhm.
But second most can be Sam Smith. Okay, my wife texted me the other day. This is a sad story.
Oh.
I I'm not convinced that my wife is Hot Gamer Girl 13 in the chat. I woke up the other day. I was the other day at work, and my wife texted me that she's quoting Kesha lyrics.
I know.
Anyway.
This is full on denial right there.
Just join the chat, everybody. It's a fun place. Where was I? Oh yeah, my wife texted me. She's at the mall the other day, and they're playing Jingle Bells.
Okay.
What do you mean, okay? You can't just say okay to playing Jingle. You know what time it is? Or what day it is? What year it is?
Wait a second. They're playing Jingle Bells now.
Yes, like yesterday.
Okay. Okay. Wow. All right.
It's August 28th, so it would have been August 27th. That's my anniversary.
Yeah, it's the most wonderful
They're
time
playing
of the
Jingle
year.
Bells. But it's not Christmas time.
So it's not the most wonderful time of the year.
No. I have one of my pet peeves. I will admit it is a personal problem. I don't like Christmas music being played too early.
All right. Let the world note that Michael just said that the day after his anniversary is not the most wonderful time of the year.
No, my anniversary is. Aww.
Oh,
No. Christmas music. My personal. Okay, so it used to be that Christmas music would start getting played in November, and that used to bug me because I thought November was when we had the month of Thanksgiving, and I think that it's important that as a culture that we, especially as a Christian, like in my family and some of our friends' family, your family, we have to actually be thankful for the things that we have. I think that's good for the culture at large anyway. But we normally skip over with Christmas, which is one of the greediest holidays that we have. Now, we're backing it up further and further, and eventually we're just not going to stop celebrating Christmas. I'm going to be singing Walking in a Winter Wonderland in July when I'm working outside in the hot, like on a tower.
And you're sitting there sweating, wishing you were working in a winter wonderland.
Yes, it's ridiculous. Thank you, Cornelius Jones there. He says no Christmas music, people. Not past Thanksgiving yet, dang it. That's what he says. There we go. The guy has seen and understands the concept. You can check that on my opinions out on that for it's in Camo Plaid Revolution 2. One of the shows I used to work on, I guess.
It's got a history.
Seasonal.
This is true. So, okay, so you're of the mind, Christmas music after Thanksgiving. The day after Thanksgiving. That's when you can start listening to Christmas music.
That's cool. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
as soon as we're done being thankful, we can be greedy.
Yeah. Yeah!
I mean, as soon as we're done praying, we eat, don't we? Heck yeah.
You're equivalating those two things.
Equivocating.
Sure.
This speech is my recital. I think it's very vital to rock around. That's right.
On top.
Yeah. I'm just having fun. This show doesn't have a direction.
No.
Have you eaten dinner yet? It's getting late.
I have not eaten anything. I was at your parents' house super late last night. I was playing a game called Rumbicub. I called it Rumble.
Hold on. That's not a real thing. What are you talking about?
I don't remember the name of the game.
Block us?
What?
Block us?
No, it's called like Rummicub.
Rummicube?
Rummicube. There you go.
Why were they playing that? My parents they haven't played that for years.
Yeah, we played it last night. After church, I got invited over for ice cream, and I played that game. And I was out way too late. I didn't get home until oh, I can't believe I spaced on this. I'll get to it in just a second. I was out super late. I won my second match. I never played this game or heard about it, seen it, whatever in my life, and I won my second match through some very complicated tile shifting. It was pretty epic. Like I was very happy. So anyway, I was out super late, so I didn't eat. I didn't wake up this morning and make breakfast. I just made my lunch and left. So I've survived all day on a hash brown from McDonald's, a sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, 2 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and some chips. That's it. Which is a lot. I'm not doing too bad, honestly, right now, which is kind of surprising because normally I need a lot more food. But anyway, the story. All right, so the thing I realized, and I haven't shared, there was a crime, like a shooting, 3-4 blocks away from me, from my home, yesterday.
Really? Like, you don't live in a bad part of town, for those that don't know. That's weird.
Yeah, no. I left your parents' house probably about after 11:30, and I was driving down home, and near a gas station, near my place, there was a crime, a shooting, and that's a terrible thing, and I think at least one person died, but like there was a runaway, like some guy jumped in a vehicle and like drove off, and I guess he flipped it or whatever, because I saw that truck over there, and it had happened only a couple hours previous. I was at church at the time, so I wasn't anywhere near what was going on. But yeah, that's like the first. That's like the first time something like that's ever really happened. Is like I'm living in the city now, not in the, as some people call it, the middle of nowhere, and I live in not a horrible part of town, and like there's a shooting there. I couldn't decide if that was cool or terrible.
It's not cool. It's never cool when there's a crime. Last podcast, you said, hey, why don't you let a bunch of kids die so you could just reverse time and save them?
Yes, I did say that.
Yeah, I'm gonna start banning you from the show. Like, if you're just gonna talk about violence being cool all the time.
But it's Superman. He can do whatever he wants. He can reverse time. It's not the...
That doesn't make it good. Just because you can do something doesn't. All things are lawful for me, but not all things are profitable for me to do, said a wise man inspired by the Holy Spirit.
Dropping that knowledge bomb. Boom.
I'm name dropping. I'm straight up name dropping God on our podcast.
Represent.
I don't know what that means.
Who knows?
My boy Andy Mineo got married this last weekend.
Yes, and he was in a video. I retweeted a picture of him today. He's part of the 116 Husbands group now. I was a picture with like Tripp was in it, Lecrae. I believe Derek Minor was probably there. Prop, I saw Prop there. Like a bunch of these dudes.
Dashi, yep.
Yeah, congrats to the dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, being married's awesome. Congrats for him. He also tweeted out a single that he did with Lecrae from Lecrae's new album that's coming out next week, maybe? I can't remember. I'm not going to look it up right now. But pretty soon. A bunch of stuff I want comes out the same day. It's like Lecrae's album, some other stuff that I can't remember right now. Destiny. Something else I can't... Heck darn it, I'm going to look it up. Keep talking.
Okay. Who else? Oh, so now that Andy Mineo is married, he's got to listen to this show to get relationship advice. So he knows how to be happily married for 3 years.
He knows how to buy his wife an anniversary gift.
Yes.
That's what he needs to do.
Yes, what he needs to. Yeah, but here's the secret: don't wait to the last minute. That's probably.
Or do wait to the last minute.
I'd probably advise against no, because then you enter in a panic, and that's never fun.
It's the Apple press conference. That's the 9th. The Apple press conference is the 3rd thing.
Apple press conference?
I have a secret, Drewby, and it's that I secretly want an iPad right now. Really bad.
Can you justify your reasoning to me? Like, do you have reason behind it?
I have a tablet that is a little bit old and dated and slow. Like you've mentioned that yours is. Mine is a little slow. It's the 1st gen Nexus.
Mm-hmm.
And I let it be known that I'm not considering this enough to actually like go out and do it. But I have decided that next time I get a tablet, I think I'm gonna go iPad because I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted. Someone's telling us to have a live rap battle on the show, and that cannot happen, seeing as we are both incredibly white, and I mean that not just in skin color, I also mean that in spirit. I've won a rap battle in my dream before, but that doesn't mean that I can do it in real life.
Yeah. We need to have some better. There are better people, more qualified for that sort of thing.
What was I saying? I was talking and I was telling a story.
About I don't even remember. Obviously,
I can go back and listen to it. Yeah, nobody was paying attention. Somebody in the chat can remind me what I was talking about. We can talk about something else, I guess.
Word. You were talking about stuff that you wanted to come out, like the third thing.
Oh, the Apple press conference. I was talking about the iPad.
Yes, iPad.
They're beautiful screens. Games hit there first. That's basically it.
Okay.
And so next time I get one, I think I'm gonna go all the way get the iPad.
So does this mean you're what you call yourself an iPad fan, an Apple fan?
I'm basically Steve Jobs at this point. Like I'm not a huge Apple fan, but I do recognize that their screens are pretty, even though before the Air, the Nexus 10 was the best screen. But their infrastructure is where all the cool games go first, and a lot of ports of regular games like XCOM and stuff go there. That's my main reasoning for the iPad thing, is just that the games go there first, a lot of games never get moved over, and then it also looks super great, which is something that I care about more in a tablet, because I like to read comics on there, and I like I said, I'm still keeping my Marvel Unlimited subscription, so I'll still be reading them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. While we're talking about tablets, Nexus 9 rumor that it's coming out October. I'm interested in that tablet because I've talked about reading comics and stuff on my Nexus 7, and that screen is it's not the best for reading comic books on. So if there was a better tablet coming out for that, maybe I should consider an iPad too, because like you have said, and here's my reason for like an iPad. If I were ever to get one, is because there are some sick games on that thing, and that's where everything comes first.
That's exactly what I said. Yeah.
Yeah, but you were also talking about the screens. Like I'm just saying solely like video games related.
The chat has asked us to explain what's wrong with Apple. Drewby, can you explain?
Okay.
As our resident Google fanboy.
Okay. Here's my opinion about Apple. I think that their stuff is completely overpriced, and I do not like the lack of functionality that I have with it. And let me dive into that last point. At work, at my job, I have two machines in front of me. I have an Apple machine, and I have a Windows machine. And I use both of them. I use the Windows machine more. In my line of work, I am required to do all sorts of things tech-wise, like IP addresses, pings. There are certain programs that I use, and almost all of it is Windows only. I am more familiar with Windows, so that also is a benefit. On the Apple, I cannot. A lot of the programs that I use are not there, and so I can't use it for that. The only reason I use the Apple is one for the second monitor, and two, I use it to play music and stuff like that through my Google account, and just some basic browsing. That's about it. Now here's some things that I will, we got to be fair and balanced here. I do love Google. I think they're awesome. Mac stuff is super polished, and that it looks good and it handles well as far as cosmetics, beauty, the design. Their hardware design is stellar, and it's above almost anybody else in the industry, probably above everyone else in the industry. I would not be super opposed. For fun to have a MacBook Air or something like that, because it's super designed. I think it'd be a fun little thing to have.
It also mentioned that they don't work for games, which is a main thing that we do on computers.
That is also
They're not really great. Very few games have Mac clients. Mm-hmm. And also, when you say that they're overpriced, it is almost literally, if you look at the hardware, it is almost literally double the price of the hardware if you were to buy it yourself and put Windows on it. It's not just overpriced. It's not like a 30% markup. It's almost like a 200% markup.
Yeah. So
last time I looked,
it's bad. The pricing on that. For mobile, I do not like iOS. I think that interface, while some people find it intuitive, I think it sucks. I think it's stupid, and I would rather use another operating system, Android. I'd love to use vanilla Android on a lot of my stuff, but sadly the Nexus phones aren't exactly available on my cellular network. But iOS being like the iPad, that runs iOS, the iPhone, iPod touches, yes, you Cornelius, they all run iOS, and that interface is just not good. I don't think, in my opinion, I don't like. I feel limited. Like I can't do everything that I want to, and that could just speak to my lack of familiarity with it. I can admit that. But yeah, that's it. I actually wrote a paper on Apple versus Windows back in school. And,
What did you say? Because I remember that when you were in school, you were actually trying to become an Apple fanboy.
I came to the conclusion that Windows was better for the and they have their pros and cons. I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, Apple works better because it was supposed to be more intuitive, but Windows was better basically on almost every other aspect as far operating systems. Because I think that's what I've heard from a lot of people, is that the way they design their stuff is more intuitive. It's easier to learn. Whatever. I don't have a problem with Windows.
Cornelius brings up that a lot of gamer YouTubers have Apple computers. I'm going to make I'm going to be a jerk. I'm going to be kind of a tool right now and make the presumption that a lot of the videos that you're watching, probably for games, are Minecraft, which does have an Apple client, so they work fine. But a lot of the other games, basically the majority of your Steam games, are not going to work on an Apple computer. A lot of people will edit their stuff on Apple because I think that Mac products are incredible at media editing and media. That's what I think their forte is media editing, and that kind of work. Music, movies, all types of multimedia. There's a lot better software on that system for that, and it works great for that. But for the average person that just wants to play games, you should probably play a PC that has that you put Steam on. That's where you're going to get the most games.
Yeah. See, and it's actually kind of funny because some apps, I've looked at the App Store, and for like an iMac, and you can buy like games some games you can actually buy just straight from the App Store, like XCOM: Enemy Unknown. That's a game that you can just buy straight out of the App Store.
I think the same port that brought it to the iPad brought it to the Mac side.
Yeah, makes sense. And I've also heard this point too. Mac is easier to program for because if you're all right, let's say you're programming for we'll go back iOS versus Android. iOS is easier to program for because it's one operating system. Everything is the exact same operating system and with only minor variations. There are two products. You've got the iPhone, you've got the iPod. Android, you've got the Samsung Galaxy, the HTC One. You've got all these different phones that run different versions.
They still have different operating systems. It's the variety of hardware, I think, is what you're trying to talk about.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah, because you still have different versions of OS X and like the different iterations of that. But yeah, when you were designing for the iPhone, you were designing for the most current iPhone or the things that can run on the recent version of iOS. Like, it's not as much random stuff.
Yeah. So Apple, yeah, I'm not gonna deny that it's got some awesome things about it. Like I said, it's sleek. It's really cool. Like that MacBook Air is probably like the most envious thing. Probably the product that I would like the most out of that. Is just because a portable laptop that I can just pop up and check stuff with and web browsing. But then again, Chromebooks way cheaper and awesome battery life, and they do exactly that as well. So it's
yeah.
It's all right. So
also. I'm going to get a little bit. This is my show. I can say what I want. I mean this humorously, but honestly, look at the type of people that use Apple stuff. They're kind of hipsters, and you know what we think about hipsters.
Yeah, hipsters. Those dudes, they just drain on society.
They're trained society because they sit in coffee shops on their Apple products and use free Wi-Fi and play Candy Crush all day.
And smoke weed.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Just today, I was really high, and it was great.
You listen to any new music lately?
There's a new TFK album that came out. I listened to that. I didn't finish the album. I was troubleshooting like my web browser at the time, and so I ended up closing.
How many sandwiches?
So I ended up closing it, and ended the album, and I never actually put it back on because I wasn't really super into it. So
Yeah, I think that as we've gotten older, that stuff hasn't been as cool.
I didn't think it was. I didn't think it was.
Can't stop, won't stop moving. It's like I got this music in my mind saying it's gonna be alright. 'Cause the players gonna
What is this?
play, and the haters gonna hate, baby. I'm just gonna shake. Shake it off. Heartbreaker's gonna break.
What is this?
And the baker's gonna bake.
This is awesome.
That's Taylor Swift's new single. You haven't heard that yet? I played it for the chat room. They were quoting it.
Nice. That thing's awesome.
I think that might be my brother in the chat room. I think. I don't know, though. What do I think of the new Taylor Swift song was the question in the chat. It's catchy. It might be annoying. I don't know. Drewby, what'd you think of the 30-second clip? You seem to like it.
That was super awesome. Like I was like, we're just talking about how like we're talking about how the TFK album wasn't that good, and then Nikki play that, and I'm like already like I listened to like part of the song, I'm like yeah, I'm like wanting to bounce in my chair. Yeah, and that song was awesome. I'm gonna go get that actually right now because I can do that now. Wow.
I think it's only on iTunes. I'm just guessing. I don't know.
Oh no!
I'm looking for TFKs.
My Google. If it's only on iTunes, what about my Google Musics? It's gotta be there.
Oxygen
gotta
Inhale?
be there.
Is that the new TFK?
Yes, that is.
I'm gonna try playing the first song real quick.
Got a red eye on. Got a red eye on. I got a red eye on. Gonna bring it on like a war machine. When it hits you like a wave, you're not gonna feel the pain. So stand and face the rain like a war machine. You gotta give me a hey, yeah. You gotta.
Okay, I don't know what you're talking about because I'm super digging that. I'm gonna have to go listen to this album.
It just sounded like TFK. It was like more TFK, and it's like, I haven't really been a big fan. I guess one of their what was their album that we listened to it like I think it was their last album that they released.
The End Is Where We Begin.
I think so. Yeah, when that album released, you and I were working on a project at work. We were sitting in an office programming all of these devices, and we were listening to that CD. I remember that
Was it a moment for you? Because I don't remember this at all.
It was when we were prepping for the Tabor project.
I don't remember that.
We were sitting in the back. I think we were programming Picos. I don't remember.
I'm fairly certain that I blocked the entirety of that project out of my brain. Let's not talk about it on the podcast.
It's possible. It's completely possible if that happened. All right. Dang.
Yeah. TFK does. Go ahead.
The Taylor Swift album is not. That new single is not on Google. I'm gonna have to go find it somewhere else.
The chat room is split on the Taylor Swift versus the 1,000-Foot Crutch song.
Huh.
Drewby, cast a vote.
I gotta cast it. I'm casting it with the
T-Swift?
with the song. Yeah, that song is awesome.
Tay-Tay?
Yeah. Oh, that song was.
I'm not sure where I cast my vote.
Go
I can't
find it
cast
now.
a vote.
Yeah,
I
you
haven't heard the TFK song.
All right, so okay. All right, so Taylor Swift wins. If you're not gonna vote, me and Hot Gamer Girl, yeah, we know what we're talking about.
Are you ready for the throwback 1,000-Foot Crutch song that everyone loves?
Do it.
I'm trying to. It's loading.
Play it.
My computer's slow. I'm trying. Oh no.
Play this song!
I don't know if I'm gonna play it anymore. I was going to, but I'm having issues for some reason.
Throw up your rock fist if you're feeling it when I drop this. Show 'em how we blow the spot. Let's make it hot. The shotgun with the body rock till the party stops. It's time to take it up a notch and keep it locked for the headbangers in the parking lot. Here we come. If you're ready or not, no time to talk 'cause we on the clock. Bringing it to your block. Let me show you where we're coming from. It don't stop from LA to New York. Show me what you got now.
Yeah. Some old school.
Okay, so funny story about this song. At my old job, we had a music server, and there wasn't a lot of music on there that I knew, but the albums on there that I did know were some Skillet albums and some TFK albums, and this was one of the songs that I would queue up a lot, like to the point where every time it played on, the guys are like, Abe, and it's just like, girl. It's like, oh. Song's good.
It's a great song. I think that's going to start wrapping it up because I'm starting to smell my dinner. It's almost made.
Ooh, I'm coming over. I'm going to eat food.
I'm having meatball sandwiches, and they're going to taste good. I'm confident in that.
I'm going to be making a hamburger helper dinner, which is actually pretty fancy for me.
It's basically... What did you say, Drewby?
Which is actually pretty fancy for me.
Pretty what for you?
First things first, I'm the realest.
Alright, Drewby, how can people find you if they want to on the internet?
On the internet. Twitter.com/Drewby132. Facebook.com/Drewby132. From my Twitter profile, you've got the link to my account, Google+. Awesome stuff there. Check it out. Nerd Cultures is happening. That's where it's at. But yeah, check me out in those places, and then keep an eye on the site. I've got some ideas of some stuff. I got an idea for something I would like to maybe start doing as a regular on the show. So keep an eye out for that.
Cool. You can find me at twitter.com/MichaelNipp, MichaelKnipp, or at facebook.com/TheRealMichaelNipp, also spelled the same way. You can email us here at the show at theculturemypeople@gmail.com. If you liked me, sorry, I'm reading the chat. If you liked having the chat room around, because I thought it was a lot of fun to have the chat room around, I felt like we were interacting with some people. Email us, let us know. I gotta stop this music. I'm gonna start dancing and singing.
Don't do it. It's not worth it.
I'm not that fancy. You can you can email us there at theculturemypeople@gmail.com. You can also find our show on iTunes, where if you use an Apple product, we love you, and you should listen to our show there. Rate it, give us 5 stars. We're also on BeyondPod's, whatever it's called, podcast store. And yeah, that's got to be my brother in chat. That's Hot Gamer Girl. Yeah, so check us out on iTunes, BeyondPod. I think that's going to do it for the show.
Out of here, us.
Oh, Drewby almost glitched out. Yeah, I think that's going to do it for the show.
I'm here.
You can check us out again next week. Same thing. You can follow. I'm so scatterbrained right now. You can follow anything that gets posted on theculturemypeople.com by following the Culture of My Peep on Twitter. That's where you can find anything that's going on. And you can find the stuff that Drewby's posting. I may post some more Dark Souls videos. And yeah, we just generally hang out. Let's keep doing what we're doing. So for hashtag follow the conversation episode 14, this has been your host, Michael Nipp, and my co-host,
Drewby.